My friends, this is a different style video today, but all the same, I'm going to put some gameplay footage in the background so that you're not just bored looking at my face. I did a little bit of pre-recording so you could have something else to look at while you listen to me. But this is, I guess, kind of a state of the game from my perspective, if you will. And it's one of those things where I don't want to drive drama, but I do want to address my honest thoughts on some of the decisions that have been made recently on the global version of Persona 5X, as well as things that I think they need to do or address to, I guess you could call it, fix the situation. Because what I'm noticing in the community is this trend of divide. And divide is honestly one of the worst things to see, because you've got one group that is more into the, hey, the game's fine, or it's good enough, and I'm not worried about it. And you've got this other group that has either already left or is just waiting for that final straw to break before they say, you know what, I gave you a shot and I'm walking away. And if anything, I would want to bridge those gaps together. I'd like to see the game get to a state where that isn't the divisive nature of it. And look, it happens in gacha games, every single one of them. But I think it's a little bit more pronounced right now, just given the choices that they have made. Now, I will tag Sega and Persona 5X official in Twitter, to come look at this video. Obviously, I'm not delusional. I don't think they're waiting for me to post my opinion to come see what the bear says and then make their decisions based off of me. But anywhere that I can attempt to bring my voice to them and maybe some of the community sentiment to them, I'm sure as hell going to try, because I do love this game. So here's the situation that I see this game. And there's going to be maybe a couple personal anecdotes here. Maybe you get a little background information on the bear to kind of paint the picture of why I feel or think this way. But have you ever found yourself in a relationship, and it doesn't have to be a romantic partner, it could be a spouse, could be a friend, could be a teacher, pick your poison, but where they do something that offends you or harms you in some way, and they say, I'm sorry. And you say, okay, water under the bridge, we'll move on. Then they do something similar or the same thing again. And they say, you know what, I'm sorry, and I brought you flowers. And you say, okay, second strike, I'm a little cautious now. You move on. And then something else happens. And they say sorry again. And maybe this time they give you a slightly bigger gift. And now your patience is waning, and you care about this person and you want to see them do better, but they just, I guess, keep throwing themselves in the same situation. And you question yourself as to why you give them these opportunities and if they're actually learning or if they're just saying things because they know it's what you want to hear. That is where I see the decision making with Persona 5X. Now, underneath it all, know that I love the game. I like the modes, I like the characters, I like the combat. All the things I need to enjoy in a video game, they sit there. That's not a problem. And I know, just because I play the other servers, how many cool and fun things are coming out. But what is starting to frustrate me is this apparent willingness to say sorry, but then not go further and say, and this is how we will change. And I'm big on communication. And I think that's always going to bother me, is when someone doesn't communicate. And here's where it's going to get real, because I want you to understand where my brain goes to and why I don't necessarily jump straight to drama, but why I'm also not head in the sand, all is well. So I'm a dad. You guys know that. I've got 3 kiddos. And let's just say that your bear did not grow up in a great situation in life. And I've definitely had to live through some experiences. So I become a dad, and I've got young kids, and I find myself falling into mistakes others have made with me. And there's a memory that sticks out where I shouted really angrily at my youngest, and he had just pure terror on his face. Now, I'm going to get to how this relates to the game. Bear with me. And I apologized. Of course I did. And I tried to make it right. And I had a heart-to-heart with my wife and figured out that the change isn't caused by the sorry. The fix isn't the sorry. The fix is regaining the trust by listening to those around me, taking their feedback to heart, and making changes. And I did. It took time. And I will be a proponent of mental health to everybody in life. And I can tell you I've done years of therapy. And I think it's the best thing that could have happened. But the point is, my actions are what showed my family that I was actually listening to them, that I wanted to be there for them, that I wanted to change, and I understood my actions were not okay. I feel like that's missing here. With Persona 5X, I feel like they've made multiple mistakes and they've given us flowers, right? We got the platinum tickets, we got the millicoins, we got the EXP book on the bug that I don't even know how that got through. It's not like you can't read what your missions are. We just got the 2 weapon boxes, which is what prompted me thinking about this. And that's cool. Great. Yeah. You bought us a watch. You bought us some flowers. You bought us some chocolates. And for a moment, I'll open the mail and I'll be happy. And I'm going to go right back to, but you haven't said anything. Your actions haven't actually said anything. You have given something, but you haven't given a path to correct the main root problems. And I think some of the irony I see here is they have a blueprint. The blueprint for the other servers already exists. And somebody was asking, I don't want to spoil, but someone was asking about, hot takes for the game. And one of mine is that it's so much better after the anniversary. Why wouldn't they, instead of making decisions like delaying Minami 6 months, for example, instead of doing that, bring forward something people like the 110 banner. It's the obvious one, right? And I'm not saying they should or shouldn't or need to, but if I've got a choice between let me test something unproven that's likely to cause drama, or give this thing that the community wants that makes them want to potentially even spend money, I don't know. It's an easy win for me. And so this is going to bring me to what do I think the game needs? What do I think it needs to do to drive a better community who wants to be here for the long haul, who is willing to wait for the anniversary, who's willing to wait for 3.0, 4.0, whatever .0? First of all, I've said it before, communication. I'm not gonna hamper this down, but have some real hard discussions with your community. Hey, we heard your feedback. We see that we've messed up. We're not just going to give you, 10 cards or whatever. On this date, this will go live, and we want to bring this feature forward. I think, honestly, they need a win. Their wins, to me, right now, could easily be the 110 banner. Just put it out with 2.0 or whatever the next patch is right after. Don't wait for, I think it was maybe Cherish that came out. Just give it early. You're not hurting anybody, honestly. And I don't think it's going to hurt them financially, to be truthful with you. And I can tell you saw me do the math. The math isn't unfavorable to them. That's actually more favorable technically if they keep the 50-50. So there's not really a loss there. 2, look at other simple features. There was changes, as an example, to EY Shop where you could get limited weapons later on. Let's bring that forward. Bring that with a different content feature. Do things that will resonate with the community where they say, hey, you're not just trying to nickel and dime us. You're not just trying to drive us to purchase things because we're going to feel the FOMO of, hey, it's 6 months before I get this character or whatever, pick your poison. Give the things that make somebody excited to press log in. Once someone's in the game and they're having fun, it's easier to convert. But if you can't get them excited to press login again, if I load the game on my computer or my phone and I'm like, do I really want to? You're not winning any battles there. You're never going to get them to a sales screen. So there's no conversions if you do that. So bring a couple of those wins forward, especially when they talk about, hey, we want to speed up content. Well, speed up some good content. Now, I get that they will still have to do things like, meter out features. You can't just sit back and say, oh, give me every single feature. Give me Tartarus. Give me the card game tycoon. I don't know. Give me new Metro. Give me this other feature. Give me this all on 2.1. Because then what do they do for the next year? So they do still need to have a cycle of content, and content takes a while to build. You guys may or may not know that I'm developing a game with a friend of mine. I can tell you, some of these programming things take a lot longer than you think they do. So, still meter out those things, but look at the very simple wins. Things that people want, bring them forward, get excitement back in the game, and just be honest. Sit back and truly own that you were wrong and that you need to do better and that you don't want to have to issue apologies. The win for us is not that we get 10 platinum tickets to say sorry. The win is that you didn't have to say sorry. That's the win. Get there. And the other thing too, and this one is, it baffles me, absolutely baffles me, because every single gacha game I have ever seen, and I've been doing this genre as a fan for a very, very long time, obviously longer than I've been making content on YouTube, but they always engage the community. Always. More community posts, having creators help promote their products, actual live streams, just all these different ways that they engage. Even simple things like little codes that give you a couple materials in the game. It doesn't have to be, the monetary pulls. And I think that with the global version, at the very least, it's like this black hole of community. Now, if they watch this video, they'll probably never invite me into a creator program. They certainly probably wouldn't want to sponsor me at this, but who knows? Maybe they'll like the honesty. But, to me, it's very simple. Like, go talk to a Platypus, go talk to a Blades of Fur, go talk to an Earphone, hell, call me. And, let the community that's championing your product, that knows how to engage with the audience directly, that talks to them on a near daily basis, both in live streams and in long form contents, let them be your champions. But instead, do you know what we got? Did you guys see this on YouTube or Twitter? It was what appears to be an AI voice over a kind of quick wonder thing about, is this a dream, blah, blah, blah. You can go look at it and find it. I don't know if that's actually AI voice. It could just be how it sounds, or somebody had some other acronym for it. I don't even know what it means. But, everyone's upset that there's no global voice acting. And then you put out that. Like that to me is just you don't understand your community. So turn it over with controls to people that do know the community, people that have been in the community for a year now or more, or at least since this game launched in global. Like, there are people like myself or Platypus and others, like I said, that would champion this game, that could deliver a positive message, but they're not even using these resources. So it's just weird to me in the gacha space, because that is something you will commonly see other games do. And it doesn't have to be a bunch of crazy paid sponsorships. Like, there's easy ways to do it for practically free. So I don't know. So, if I bring it back and I sum everything up for you, and again, I take this from my own personal experience, because I'm willing to give grace. People have given me grace when I've made some mistakes that you honestly would not believe for me to tell you, some very bad ones. And I would be a very lonely person in this life if people didn't give me the grace and forgiveness to redeem myself. And I think that I am more than willing to continue that grace and to give them that chance. But make it known your intents. Make it something I can track. Tell me you're going to do something, and then let me hold you accountable to doing it, right? Tell me you're going to do this on 2.0 or 2.1 or 2.2 or whatever it is. Tell me why you chose that date. Give me a reason why you can't do it tomorrow. And then get there, right? And understand if you don't do it, there's accountability to be held there. 2, stop looking for more ways to earn more money and start thinking about ways to earn more consumers. That's how you make more money in this business. You get people to play your game. You get people to want a character. You get people to want a weapon. You get people to want to be more powerful, and they will spend the money. But if you can't get them in the door because you keep making non-consumer friendly choices, you're never creating that opportunity. And then finally, use your community. We're here. I could name at least 12 people right now that would take a shot at working with Sega, because they're the publisher for global, to promote the product in a healthy and meaningful way. I'm one of them. You guys know me. I would do it in a heartbeat. Use that. Let people champion your product and then work side by side with them. So that's it. More of a mouthpiece, guys. I'm sorry. It's more of a talking point, but I see all the, different perspectives. I hear a lot of your voices, and I wanted to give you just my honest, unscripted, real thoughts around this game and why I look at it the way that I do. So I don't know, maybe this gets no views, maybe this gets a bajillion views, but either way, I'm still playing the game. Don't worry about that. Matter of fact, I'll see you Saturday on the live stream, and there'll be other videos probably before then. Go check out my Dionysus short. It's ridiculously fun. And my friends, until our next live stream or our next video, please take care of yourselves.